All right, here we go. Michael Jai White.
Yes,
welcome back.
Me again.
Welcome back.
In the neighborhood.
Yeah, fresh off my birthday dinner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was good. That was
Thank you.
Status.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Status Hollywood, my favorite Jamaican spot. You came by. You brought your wife.
Yes.
Johnny Gill. Judge Mathis. Edie from the Outlaws.
Yep.
You know, Evan, my assistant. My friend Jake. You know, various girlfriends and wives. It was really dope.
The brother got to change the look of the front of the place. He got to put it in Jamaican colors.
There you go.
Yeah, that's my little advice, so you know what kind of food is in there.
Yeah, but definitely a very dope night, man. I don't think I've ever really done a birthday dinner before, so that was like, definitely an honor to have you guys.
It was a good look. Yeah.
Well, since our last interview, the Diddy trial has concluded. Diddy was found guilty of prostitution, but beat all the serious charges of RICO and sex trafficking. Number one, were you surprised at the verdict?
I don't know shit about that thing. I swear to you, man, it's crazy, but like more and more, I just divorce myself from a lot of things that's going on because it's like I don't get nothing out of it. I hear things in the periphery, right? I can't pretend to be interested in it. I really can't. But so, in the periphery, I hear he got off some of these things or whatever. Yeah. But I'm like, man, I wish I could care.
Well, the charges that he was found guilty of is interstate prostitution. So basically, he was found guilty of tricking.
Tricking. Okay.
It's tricking off.
All right.
Now he has to suffer for that.
Right, yeah, okay.
And I have been saying this whole time that he was going to beat all the serious charges. There's literally interviews of me like days before the verdict, exactly laying out the verdict.
Damn, I swear I feel like I'm watching a TV show, right? Or just like, okay, it's like, to me, like reality and TV is kind of melding together. But like, I'm like, okay. But I don't know. It's just, all right. Well, it sounds like adults.
Yeah.
Issues for adults. That I don't care about.
It was really, from my point of view, it seemed like everyone was consensual in this whole situation.
Right.
When you talk about sex trafficking and prostitution, like the essence of the law is, okay, here's like some middle-aged pimp that finds it underage teenager and makes her turn tricks on the corner and have sex with
some underage shit, I'm ready to beat your ass.
But there's no underage shit that came out.
But it's like, come on.
It was all adults.
I'm like, adults. You know, if there was something worth me listening to, I'm like, okay, where's, he beat home chick's ass. It was like, okay, that's not a good look, but that's them.
Yeah.
Right? Now, for somebody I know, I'm gonna try to kill him, but I don't know her. But I don't have to know somebody. If I see that, I'm hurting the dude.
Sure.
Hey man, it's hard for me to really be invested in it.
I mean, look, you saw, I sent you that clip when I was on Pierce Morgan's show,
right, yeah,
where I was arguing with Tony Busby.
Yeah.
And my whole thing was, you have like 100 clients that are all claiming that Diddy drugged and raped them. None of these clients took the stand in this case. The feds passed on all of them. You mean to tell me there's 100 people that have committed the type of crimes that they're trying to convict him of? Like they had all types of people that, his assistant who claims that she, was raped by him and beat up, and Kid Cudi who claims his car was blown up. You have 100 people that are suing him, and not a single one was brought into the courtroom. Makes me imply that all 100 of your clients are full of shit. It's all money grabs, including the most prominent one, which I brought up, was a girl who claimed she was raped by Diddy and Jay-Z when she was 13 years old. Her own father said it didn't happen. Because they live like 3 hours away from New York. He said, I want to remember driving my daughter 3 hours in the middle of the night to a party and then picking her up.
Yeah.
and then driving 3 hours back, like that's like what, like 12 hours of driving? I would have remembered that. But, you know, he has these types of cases, and I just find it just nasty that the court system allows like lawyers to take on clients without any proof, with just their word, and then now you have to go and protect yourself against people like this. And then what do? You can't countersue. They don't have any money.
Yeah, bro, but who you think puts those laws in order? Like it's the lawyers, man. They're responsible.
The lawyers run the government.
Yeah, they set themselves up to get paid this way.
Oh, yeah, no, look, we were like arguing. I was like, which of these cases have you won? He's like, I just won a $650 million lawsuit. I said, which has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Because the thing about Tony Busby is that he really made his name and his fortune doing personal injury stuff. He's an ambulance chaser. Okay? And now he wants to be in the celebrity world. Well, this is what comes with it. Getting yelled at on live television. This is what comes with it. He called me a knucklehead. I find that kind of funny.
Ooh, he did?
A knucklehead!
A knucklehead, man. What did you do? Oh, my God.
I don't think I've ever been called a knucklehead. That's such an old school insult. It's like calling me like a whippersnapper or
something. It was like a Y-iota. You know, like, come on. Yeah, okay. You knucklehead? Okay, wow.
Knucklehead.
Oh, boy.
Diddy, I think, will probably get maybe time served or an extra year, if that. I think ultimately this was a failure of the feds. Out of everything they laid out and threatening this guy with life in prison, ultimately they lost all the major charges. Not to say that Diddy's a nice guy. He's not. You know, we both heard stories and you've seen some stuff and so forth, because you used to hang out with his ex.
Yeah, well, you know, my ex and his ex, they were friends.
Okay, you're talking about Kim Porter.
Yeah, Kim Porter and my ex, they, you know, and I'd been around them in, you know, so some social situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Well, weren't you telling me that when you guys were hanging out, Diddy was calling her like 100 times?
Yeah. I mean, it was like, I think I mentioned it one other time. It was a time where it seems like he was really trying to get back with her, and he had no shame. He was very, see, that's weird to me. It's like, it's almost like that Tupac situation that I hate talking about. But like the cat that I encountered is nothing like the dude that you see publicly. Like, it's like a whole different thing. I'm seeing this vulnerable dude trying to get back with his lady. And there's no bravado, no toughness, no ego or whatever. And it's almost like in this world, it's like, I don't know, I feel like all my celebrity people that, not friends and just acquaintances, it's almost like there's a persona that they're playing this role publicly, but privately they're different people.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I interviewed, his ex-bodyguard, Roger Bonds. And he said that there were I think multiple occasions where, Diddy would drag him to Kim Porter's house. They'd wait outside the house for 6-7 hours. Just waiting outside the house like it's a full-time job.
Right, yeah.
And Roger was like, yo, Puff, we gonna get arrested, for stalking. He's like, no, I pay the rent here. It's my place. They can't arrest me for stalking. And he's like, I know she's in there. Knocking on the door, ringing the doorbell, knocking on the window. No one shows up. Yeah, and just waiting hour after hour. That's obsessive behavior.
Yeah, I feel like people don't really change much.
Yeah,
you're who you really are.
Yeah.
When it's like I see that so consistently that once you drop that persona, you're you, and then sometimes that persona can really screw you up real bad if you start buying into the image that you're projecting. That can screw you up. I'm sorry, I just don't see nobody who's got that ego or that persona thing who's happy, doing that for so long.
Yeah, it's funny. Roger was telling me about this one time, because 50's always kind of messed with Puffy. He's always joked about him and dissed him and whatever else. So this one time, Roger was telling me how they were going to MTV. And 50 was there with Tony Yayo and like 10 guys from Queens, right? And Diddy like looked at Roger and said, yo, man, I'm going to punch 50 in the face.
Who said this?
Diddy.
Okay,
Diddy said he was going to punch
that.
50 Cent in the face. And Roger was like, yo, there's 10 of them. What? You saying you can't hold it down? I was like, there's 10 of them. What do you expect me to do? There's 10 of them. There's 2 of us. There's 10 of them. And, 50's crazy, Yayo's crazy, and a bunch of the guys with him look crazy. Like, this wasn't a bunch of like accountants and lawyers. It was like 10 street guys from Queens. He's like, yo, what do you expect is going to happen after you do that?
Well, I mean,
so nothing happened. He just had a conversation with him. That was it.
Well, you said that. I mean, a lot of people can fantasize and say stuff. You ain't going to do it.
No. But even saying it
I mean?
out loud sounds crazy.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing, man. A lot of people going to say stuff out loud. There's a part of them that they feel like, yeah, look how wild I am. I said this. No, you ain't going to do it.
Well, I mean, but he did smack Drake. I heard that. But that's Drake.
Okay. I need I say anything else. You mean he smacked the dude from Degrassi?
That guy in the wheelchair.
Oh, my God. Him and 50 Cent, same thing. That's the same thing. No.
Good point.
Yeah, but so, I mean, yeah.
I've heard some crazy stories about him. I mean, I think the thing about Puff that ultimately got him is that it doesn't seem like he really respects people. It's a level of like, just a base level of, I don't really have to respect you because of who I am. So if there's something I want out of you, I'm just going to ask for it or I'm going to demand it. And I don't really care how you take it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's man, I keep saying the same thing. It's the male ego unchecked. And, man, and it's the fantasy world. I mean, think about it, like, there's millionaires turning into gangsters.
Who does that?
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a lot of, you just mentioned Drake. God bless him. Dude, like, I don't know the dude, but he's clearly a middle class, well, not middle, I mean, he's a very rich dude.
Well, he grew up middle class, yeah.
But
yeah.
Like, it's tragic if he feels like he's got to live this gangster lifestyle. What the hell's wrong with your life? The fact that you are fucking brilliant, he's got a hell of a sense of humor, he's a natural performer. Like, why go to the dark side? Why do you have to, so many people feel like they got to prove that they're like gully. Like, it's so crazy. Like, okay, real killers, real tough guys don't have to prove that shit. They just don't. People are happy as being who the fuck they are.
Well, I don't know if I ever told you, but I actually had a near confrontation with Drake's crew at one point.
Uh-huh.
It was in New Orleans around 2013. It was the All-Star Weekend in New Orleans. A bunch of us were on stage. It was like me, we're all just kind of hanging out on stage at this club. It was me, Meek Mill was there with his crew, and Drake was there with his crew, right? I had my security with me. And I remember when I had met Drake maybe a month or so earlier, I was like, oh, Drake, Vlad from Vlad TV. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, man, stop talking shit about me. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because, I had Charlamagne on my show a lot that was talking shit about him.
Yeah,
but I'm like, I didn't say anything. I'm like, yo, bro, we love you. Like, what are you talking about? So I ran into him again, and I'm not really getting the hint at this point. I'm like taking pictures. Yo, can we take a picture? And it's like, okay, whatever. And I met like his one of his like little right-hand man's, this dude Chubbs. And, I'm talking to him, we exchange numbers, whatever. So I guess when I walked away, Chubbs talked to Drake, and Drake probably was like, oh yeah, Vlad, oh yeah, he be talking shit about me or something, right? So next thing I know, this guy Chubbs gets in my face, and he's like, and he's got a couple of people with him. He's like, yo man, why you talking shit about my man Drake? I said, I have never talked shit about Drake, right? He goes, no, he said he's talking shit about him. I said, I've had people on my show that talk shit about him. I've never said anything. He's like who? Like Charlamagne. Well, that's on you too. And I said, okay. I look back and I motioned for my security to walk over He's like, yeah, call your people. And it's like starting to escalate, right? And my security, who's like this Navy SEAL dude, gets in between us. He's like, what's the problem? And then, but at this point, people are starting to kind of gather around. And I'm like, yo, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So we leave. My security wants to come back and confront him. I said, are you crazy? I said, this is going to start a whole thing. Like, we're done.
Everybody wants to prove themselves.
But the fact that this dude gets, and he's like in my face, right? He's like, yo, man, and I'm like,
yeah.
I've done more. And I was literally like, in retrospect, I'm like, yo, like I literally have hundreds of articles praising this guy out of all his accomplishments. There's tons of interviews talking about how great he is, people around him, whatever else. I get one guy on there that talks trash, and now it's almost a fight.
It's just what
it's ridiculous,
dude, man. What it is? People always want to prove their damn self, and if you look like an easy mark, that gives them a chance to swell up. Everybody wants to.
Right, because he thought I was by myself.
Everybody,
because my security was standing kind of like a little lower down.
You don't
so he
understand.
thought I was by myself.
I get everybody's goddamn tough guy story. You know what I mean? Like I could be sitting down with the head of a studio. He's like, well, when I was in college, I used to wrestle. I was kind of a tough. Like, why the fuck am I hearing your tough guy story? I hear so many people's tough guy story. Deep down, everybody wants to prove themselves.
They're tough too.
And so it's like, it's just what's natural. People trade stories, and everybody thinks that they want to trade a story with me. They want to talk about like how you ever had to hurt somebody, whatever. Everybody wants to tell their tough guy story. So when you're around that machismo, all that kind of shit, and you look like a mark where somebody can be like, oh shit, yeah, and they can step to you because you don't present yourself as a tough guy. So now he can get some street cred or whatever. So people,
I stepped to Vlad.
Yeah, people do. They look for the opportunity
to be. It didn't stop me bringing people on my show talking shit about Drake. Let me tell you that.
But that's what people do, man. They don't look. It's what weak ass people do. They're trying to prove themselves. Like I say, man, I've been around it so much. How many times people want to prove that they're tough to me, and it's you don't know how fucking stupid you look. But they're not going to understand. They're not going to understand that. Real tough people don't have to fucking prove it. And so, like, stop. So, yeah, you're always going to hear the tough guy story. Somebody always wants to swell their chest up, and it's kind of part of the same thing that we're talking about. That I go, damn, man, homeboy, you don't have to prove that you're tough, man. Be who you are. Mm-hmm. It's just, it don't get nobody nowhere doing that shit. It's just, you're portraying something that you're not. Somebody gonna check. Now you got to worry about shit. It's just silly. But it's what people do when they get power. Especially if they're, I could name names, but all you got to do is think about it. Look how many rappers try to be gangster type people when deep down they're nothing like that.
Right.
They're nothing like that. They're creatives.
Poets.
Yeah.
Most rappers are poets.
Yeah.
When you look at poets throughout history, that's essentially a rapper.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Back in the day, they had feathers in their hair and frilly outfits.
Yeah, that's
and now they have chains and, Louis Vuitton, but it's all the same thing.
That's why I love people like Ice-T. I love this man. I used to hate that dude. When I didn't know him, I was like, I don't believe you. Like I was kind of like, he was, he like had very, demonstrative lyrics and but that turned out to be one of the smartest, one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. And he just basically said like, yo, that's part of a persona I put out there. And he's just the chillest dude ever. But like people like him, like he's healthy. Like he did it for means to an end. But when you start to see who these people really are, the Snoops and the Dre's and the Ice Cubes and people like that with LL long, successful marriages and happy families, it's kind of trippy when you go, how many of these guys encourage people to become gangsters just because of the persona?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not on purpose, but it's just as a residual. There are people who bought into a certain image and they just kept going, So
look, you couldn't convince me that Ice Cube wasn't like the hardest gangster of all time with that first NWA album.
My God, he was the most clever. Man, my God, those lyrics.
Motherfuckers I slaughter and blow them out the water.
Yeah, my goodness, man. Yeah.
Sawed off shotgun, like,
yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
So if you had that within you, man.
Police, beat the police out of shape. He got beats up cops. He shoots people with shotguns. He slaughters people. He beats everyone up.
Yeah.
This is the guy who does family movies now.
Right, exactly.
And movies about snakes.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, it's a little, it's funny. It's funny to me.
It is. Yeah. It's made for comedy. The whole thing, in a way where I don't know. It's images, man. It's images. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm encouraging people to kick the shit out of people, which in real life I'm a very very even-tempered. I'm not, I can't imagine like losing my temper enough to like do something to somebody. Like I can't even imagine that. Like where would be the case where I would really lose it to where I would jeopardize my career, family, and everything else by beating the shit out of somebody.
When was the last time you punched somebody outside of a ring or a sparring session?
I punched a few people on the street. I got away with it.
What year?
Not that long ago. Like I had reflexes. And so there was like some time in a club where somebody just jumped out and was like, and I was like, yo, don't do that. He's like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, like you just, like
you just playing around?
Huh?
He was just playing around with you?
He was playing around, but like he sees me, and this guy jumped out like he was punching, and I cracked him.
When was the last time you punched someone out of anger, though? Like out of a real situation?
Oh.
That was just a joke that went bad.
Yeah,
I'm talking about actual, like, a situation where you had to punch somebody.
Oh, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I won't say where because statute of limitations. But a dude, it was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. Somebody pressed an issue.
Huh.
And see, here we go. You got me talking about my tough guy stories and shit.
There we go.
Look at this shit. Now, I'm not doing it.
Well, and by the way, since you're talking about this, one of my Vlad TV YouTube members actually had a pretty good question.
Okay.
Eddie Arnold, 3726, said, what are your top 3 fight scenes in an American movie ever made? Doesn't have to be martial arts, just your top 3 fight scenes of any movie.
Fight scenes. They Live is one of them.
They Live?
They Live is one of them.
I've never even heard of this movie.
Yeah.
What? You heard it?
It's a great fight scene.
Yeah. Yeah, They Live.
I'm looking at it right now. I've never
Keith
even seen
David
this
and
is
Roddy
1988's
Roddy Piper.
Really?
Yes. Yep. That's damn sure one of them.
Yeah, I'm looking. Keith David is in it.
Yeah.
Meg Foster.
Yep.
Buck Flower, don't know who that is. Larry Franco, not an all-star cast. Although although Keith David is a known
American movie.
Roddy Piper is a wrestler.
Man, Billy Jack, love the movie. Billy Jack.
Billy Jack is another movie.
Yep.
Okay.
I actually borrowed a clip out of that for Outlaw Johnny Black.
That was from 1971.
Yes.
Okay, we got a 1988 movie and 1971 movie.
Yeah, when Tom McLaughlin tells the guy, I'm going to take this foot and I'm going to whop you on that side of your head. And you know what? There's nothing you can do about it. And he cracks him. And so I use that in Outlaw Johnny Black.
I remember that scene, yeah.
Yeah. But that movie was one of the greatest movies, one of the biggest. It really created the independent movie genre. It was incredible. One of the biggest return on investments to this day. Because so that's been a staple.
Okay.
And so third American movie fight scene is what you're saying.
Right, because knowing you, you'll start mentioning a bunch of Chinese movies, and Japanese movies,
right,
and it'll be like, that no one's ever heard of. So I actually want to stick to an American genre here.
Yeah, so, shoot, now, American movie fight scene. Damn, it's hard for me to think of the third. Is it going to be... Damn, I'm sorry, I can't think of a third, but those two are two of the greatest fight scenes that I can think of. I'll get back to you on the third.
Let me take a look. I'm looking at a list of the greatest scenes. So if we stick to American, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon's out of there. The ones that are listed are Old Boy, Kill Bill, The Matrix, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Princess Bride, Mission Impossible Fallout, Bourne Ultimatum, Gladiator. But that was more with weapons.
I think I might have to go with Princess Bride, which is my favorite movie ever.
Princess Bride is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which fight scene?
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
That one?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yep. There we go. So that's the three biggest ones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of fighting, Canelo versus Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
September 13th. Now, what's interesting is I actually looked up the odds on this. I went on betonline.ag.
Yeah.
Canelo is minus 180. Crawford is 139, which means that Canelo is favored, not massively favored. So it's like the way this works is that you'd have to bet $180 to make $100. Mm-hmm. So almost 2-1.
Yeah.
So he's almost 2-1, like 1.8 favored over Crawford, who's 139. So that means if you bet $100 on Crawford, you'll get $139 back.
Yeah.
That's how it works. I'm just kind of learning this now. Mm-hmm. So, do you feel that Canelo's going to win?
No.
Really?
No.
So you would put your money on Crawford?
Yes.
You'd make money.
Okay.
Just putting that out there. Mm-hmm. Why do you think Crawford's going to beat him?
Because Crawford could find people to fight like Canelo, who is amazing. Canelo has just, oh my God, like he evolved. I saw how he evolved defensively and everything. I just don't think he's as fast as Crawford. And I think Crawford is just a little step ahead as far as movement is concerned. And so I think it's going to be Mayweather Canelo Part 2. That's what I think.
I mean, Canelo is naturally heavier.
Yeah, Crawford ain't gonna knock him out.
Huh.
But I don't know if Canelo's gonna land very solidly on Crawford.
See, when it comes to Canelo, I always think about the Mayweather fight, where Mayweather just embarrassed him.
Yeah.
But that was very early.
No, yeah. I mean, Canelo's way better now.
Yeah.
He's way better now. But I still think there's an edge. It won't necessarily be exactly like that, but I think he'll edge him out point-wise. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, so you're one of the points. Okay.
Because points. I just think still Canelo needs to be set before he fires. His basics are solid, but Crawford is jazz fusion, I feel. Like he can do unconventional things where Canelo is conventional. He's perfect conventional, but it's kind of like, it's like Allen Iverson. It's the crossover. It's the thing that you just, just a little bit different. That just gives you, all you need is that little bit of an edge. And I think Crawford has that.
Well, look, it's going to be happening on September 13th in Las Vegas, and it's actually going to be streamed on Netflix. So it's going to be a free fight.
Hell yeah. Oh, my goodness. I'm not missing that for nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Canelo is reportedly getting $150 million, and Crawford is getting $50.
That sounds about right.
I mean, Canelo is a bigger draw at this
the biggest thing. Yeah. He deserves it, man. I got nothing against Canelo. I think he's amazing. I think he's an incredible fighter. He's like one of Yeah. So I mean, I just think that strategically, that there's just this little edge. Yeah, I don't think he's going to catch Crawford. And Crawford's really tough.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be a hell of a fight. I think at this point, the fight of the year.
Oh, yeah. Shoot, man. That's one of the best fights in the last 10 years to me. Honestly. I mean, it's, you had, Canelo Mayweather, but of course, Canelo was, coming up. But now this is something that's more, on an equal playing field. And, Crawford's older, isn't he? I think he's older than Canelo.
Canelo's 34, Crawford's 37. So you're right, 3-year difference. Pretty close, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all that balances things out even more.
Canelo's a little heavier and a little younger. Crawford is lighter and a little bit older.
Yeah, but I would think that Canelo's got a little bit more wear and tear than Crawford.
He's had more punches, more fights, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. It's going to be a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hell of a fight.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to that one.
Well, Gervonta Davis just got arrested for domestic violence. You heard about that?
No, but, you mean a fighter got arrested for violence?
Well,
that's some weird shit right there.
For, allegedly beating up the mother of 2 of his kids. So I guess this happened on Father's Day outside of her home. A verbal dispute happened. I guess what she said is that Gervonta was upset over personal matters and Gervonta having insecurities about the sexuality of their son. So I guess maybe their son might be gay or something of that sort. He showed up to pick up the kids. The argument escalated. And then after Gervonta put the kids in the car, she alleges that Gervonta punched her in the rear of her head with a closed fist and slapped her in the face. Also, they suggested there had been approximately 10 undocumented physical altercations between the 2 of them. He got arrested, and he's out on $10,000 bond.
Okay.
Yeah, sad situation.
Yeah.
I've interviewed Gervonta before. Cool dude. I've interviewed Gervonta before.
Yeah.
Cool ass dude. I mean, that last fight could have gone either way. Gervonta won. Who did he fight last time?
Roach.
There we go.
Yeah.
I almost felt like Roach won it.
A lot of people felt like that.
Yeah. Is there a rematch for that?
It should be. But I mean,
because people were literally booing. They were booing Gervonta when he won.
Well, I mean, that knockdown or the lack of one, that's just some bullshit right there.
Okay, so here's what's going on. So I guess the rematch was supposed to be next month, August 16th, but because of the whole domestic violence arrest, now the whole rematch is up in the air. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, when you're famous, you can't get into shit like this. This messes up everything.
Well, if you're not famous too, I mean, that just shows that everybody's human.
Everyone's human.
Just hopefully, sometimes it's like, and I'm not saying this as to, condone anything like that. Sometimes these things, when you're famous, everything amplifies. Some of the regular problems that you might have is like just to a larger level because you got a lot of pressures on you. Yeah. There's no excuse on hitting a woman type of thing. No. That's just some bullshit.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I think that's why like Diddy still had a lot of people on his side until that Cassie video. And then I think everyone universally turned their backs on him. Because it's like, you can't really justify that one. Doesn't really matter what she did before that happened.
Right.
Don't do that to like a girl, period, but especially a girl as small as Cassie. You know what I mean? Like, listen, there's some women that'll whoop your ass. Legitimately. Clarissa Shields, I wouldn't want to get into an altercation with her.
Yeah.
She can whoop my ass.
Yeah.
I'll do my best, but she's a professional boxer.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you saw Diddy kicking and dragging Cassie, I don't think that any man or woman looked at that and said, that's justifiable.
Nobody did.
Yeah. I'm sure he had a good reason for that. She probably deserved that. No one said this. Nobody said it. Nobody said it. And I think that no matter what happens in the rest of his life, that will always be a stain on who he is. Just like with Chris Brown.
Yeah, was there a video of Chris Brown?
No, but there's a picture of Rihanna with her face all messed up.
Oh, okay.
Remember that?
No,
you never seen that?
I don't think I've ever seen it, but I've heard. Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's the picture. My interview with Roger Bonds. If you remember during that time, after the beating happened, the two of them tried to get back together, and they did it at Diddy's house in Miami. Like, basically, Diddy was like, here, use my house on Star Island, spend some time here, try to work things out, with each other, and maybe something will ultimately happen that's positive. And Roger Bonds was there when they were actually hanging out together. And what he told me was that him and Chris Brown had some conversations about this. And what Chris said was like, man, look, Rihanna's just a very mean girl. Like, she would always hit him. You see what I'm saying? Like, if she'd get pissed off, she would punch him in the face. And he said that one night in the car, they were driving, and they were both teenagers at the time. They were like 19 or something.
Yeah.
And I guess like a girl started texting, Chris, and Rihanna saw it, and Rihanna just punched him in the face, and he just blacked out. That's the story.
Is that her story as well?
Well, she never told her story.
Oh, okay.
Because when the trial was supposed to happen, I think Chris ended up pleading out. So the trial never happened. Like, nobody ever took the stand. Nobody ever told their side of the story. That's just what happened. Now, is that justifiable? No. You're not supposed to hit a girl. But have you ever been around Rihanna? Rihanna's big. Rihanna's not a small, dainty little girl. In heels, she was my height. We were face to face.
Oh.
I did an interview with her like early in her career. She's not thin, she's not fat, but she's like, she's built.
Yeah.
Getting punched in the face by someone who's enraged, even if they're a female, I'm sure that shit hurts.
Yeah. Could sting. It's not like getting hit by a guy.
I don't know.
I don't care how big she is. Unless it's Layla Ali or Clarissa.
Layla Ali hit you in the face as hard as she could could potentially knock you out.
Oh, yeah. Layla could knock you out.
Yeah.
You out.
Yeah.
But like...
I've been around Layla before.
Yeah, but I don't know if Rihanna
big.
could. She ain't trained in how to punch, so it's... Yeah, I just don't see...
Anger will bring out some strength in you. Like, just being absolutely infuriated. Like, I told this motherfucker he's cheated on me before. Oh my... And think about it. Like, a woman seeing... Like, ooh, Chris, man, come fuck me again. You look it over and she's seeing that. Can you just imagine? She's Caribbean, she's got that Caribbean craziness associated with her. Shout out to all my Jamaicans and Belizeans and everyone else. Y'all crazy sometimes. Y'all a little crazy sometimes. Just gonna say that. Yeah. And just her just punching you as hard as she can in the face.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm from a different kind of thing. The average person don't know how to fucking punch. Yeah. Not very efficient. So it's a glorified slap, more than likely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But listen, this has haunted him forever, to the point where I remember BET was doing some sort of a Michael Jackson tribute.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be part of it, and then they pulled the plug on him. They said, never mind.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. It's one of those things that it just, sometimes like nature takes care of itself. You know, like that man would be
He'd be on
Mount Rushmore, man, if it wasn't for this.
I used to say when he first came out, I said, listen, Chris has the skill level to be on a Michael Jackson level.
Yeah.
Like, he really is that good. The voice, the singing, the look.
Sometimes nature takes care of it.
He's a superstar.
Yeah.
But, you know, and listen, it's not like he's broke and, you know, he's trying to get by. He's wealthy. He does tours. Thousands of people show up. He's loved, whatever, but he's not Michael Jackson.
Well, I mean, that's something that, I mean, okay, that his touring, those are things that you get used to. He has to find it within himself, hopefully, that's got to be enough, right? So it's because you know what your potential is. Someone not living into their potential, that's an albatross around your neck that I wouldn't want to trade with nobody. If every day he lives knowing that the heights that he could ascend to is limited by a mistake, that's something that someone's psyche would have to just deal with. That could be significant. That sometimes that's enough to take somebody out.
Yeah, I feel like, look, the skill level of being a great singer, a lot of people have that, right? But then all the stuff that I've read about Michael Jackson and people that have worked with him, you know, people like Rodney Jerkins or Teddy Riley that actually created albums with this guy, he had a different level of obsession than other human beings. He wasn't just happy just being rich and kicking back. Like, right. He was really like,
his status is something he gets used to.
Yeah, I am the greatest of all time, and I have to, you know, like they even said, like in the booth, he would like dance so hard as he's singing that his clothes would be drenched as he would be leaving the booth. You know what I mean? Or he would just sit there and just watch videos and practice routines, and like he really was like, yo, like he knew who he was, and he kept trying to raise the bar.
He knew who he was.
He knew who he was. Chris, I think, and most people get to a certain point and say, hey, I'm pretty cool with this. I just want to maintain this. Yeah, I'm going to drop an album every so often. It's going to do well. It's not going to do great, but it's going to do well. And that'll allow me to keep touring, and I can keep building my wealth over time and so forth. I don't know if Chris has that type of drive that a Michael has.
Yeah, but or like nobody should have that. I don't think that shit's healthy.
It's not.
Personally.
No, it's not. It's not healthy.
Because when I, question
Kobe, people like this, these guys are all lunatics.
Yeah, when they say, who somebody was, who are you really? Are you trying to create? Is it what you creating yourself to be, like this other thing that you don't, like, how do you, like, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to trade. There's a reason why Michael Jackson and Prince ain't here no more, right? Shouldn't there be a point where you can just be like, you?
Well, okay. I think the reason why they're both not here anymore, because I had to think about it for a second, is because they were both drug addicts. Let's just keep it 100. That's why they're not here anymore. They're both drug addicts. Michael was using propofol as a sleeping aid. Propofol?
Yeah, propofol. Yeah. So,
like, who does this? I had an operation, and they gave that to me to knock me out for the operation. They were telling me this is what they gave Michael Jackson. I'm like, what? Like, oh, don't worry about it. We'll be here. You're fine.
Yeah, but just a chicken or the egg thing. What comes first, though? The belief that you're something, like, what's driving you to do that shit? Like, if you maintain your humanity and your vulnerability, who you really are, that kid that you were, whatever, that not what the world is telling you are, where you can drop that and fucking be you. I know a lot of people who knew Prince and be like, damn, I never caught him even at his house without being, without the shoes and everything else. So it's like, yeah, there was a time where he ain't just chilling no more. Like, you know what I mean?
It's always a show.
Yeah, and then it's like Michael Jackson and, you know, who's he today? Like, all that kind of stuff, man. I feel sorry for people like that.
Yeah, I mean, with Prince, I remember, who was it? Was it Morris Day? Who I think I did an interview with, and I think he was the one that explained this to me. I may be wrong. What happened was, because Prince would constantly be performing, and he'd always try to do these acrobatic performances where he'd be doing the splits and stuff like that in high heels. So I guess he had like done the splits one day and he like messed up his back.
Yeah.
Like really badly. So he was just popping pills all the time. Popping pills to the point where he just died in his elevator one day.
Right, yeah, but it's like so he couldn't go, yo, my back is fucked up, man. I'm just going to no, he's got to be this persona. Yeah. Like, you know, it's like, you know, like where you feel like you have no more peers. That's not a cool thing. Like I talked about it one time where I was talking about how Terence Trent D'Arby was on that trajectory.
Yeah.
Because they was talking about him in the same vein as Prince.
No, people compared him to Prince at the beginning,
and Michael Jackson, that he was about to ascend to this, and he was like, nah, I'm stepping the hell off.
Yeah.
And he's around today. Very happy. We keep in contact.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We keep in contact.
When's the last time he's done music, though? It's been decades.
He's always doing music.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
When's the last time he put out something?
He put out a lot of things. Some of my favorite shit. Like, he goes by the name Sananda Maitreya. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it, but Sananda. But, yo.
Oh, here we go, yeah.
Yeah, man.
His name is now Sananda Maitreya, yeah.
Yeah. But, yo.
But all his top songs were from that first album back in the
He's
day.
been happily married 22 years, man. He's in Italy living it up, man. We keep in contact. Dude, when he writes, like, his emails sound like poetry.
Funny.
He's happy. He just had a birthday. He stepped off of that damn roller coaster.
Actually, I'm looking. He's still on tour.
Yeah.
He's in Norwich, Manchester. He's in England,
there's
Liverpool.
a cut by him. I'll play you afterwards.
Okay.
That he did with Avalanche is one of my favorite songs.
Okay.
Like it's like he's killing it. He's killing it. He's doing it the way he wants to do.
You know what's funny is that, I don't know if you heard the story before, but Prince and Michael Jackson were supposed to do a song together.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
They were supposed to do Bad.
Oh, yeah, I know about this thing. You know.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't supposed to do a song together.
Oh, no, they were supposed to do a song Bad.
He wanted Prince to be in the video.
Nope. That's not what I heard.
Really?
What I heard was, and I think Prince did an interview about this at one point, where, you know, like these songs are usually done by the time they get presented to people like this. Like, you know, there's a version of it, you know, whatever else, the music is there, whatever else. So Prince said he got this song, and the first line is, Your butt is mine. And he's like, okay, so who's going to do this part?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. I don't want him to do it. So whose butt? Like, no, like I'm not doing this.
Right.
You know, no, my butt is mine. It's not yours.
Yeah.
And I don't want your butt either. So I'm just going to step out of this show.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. Well, let's bring it back to boxing for a second.
Yeah.
Jake Paul had another fight where he beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Yeah.
Which afterwards ranked him as number 14 as a cruiserweight.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he's now eligible for the WBA cruiserweight title shot. But a lot of people are upset about this, saying that he doesn't deserve to be ranked that high. Do you agree or disagree?
I'm not invested in it, but cruiserweight, who the fuck knows who's a cruiserweight? So I'm like, I have not been following it. There's not many cruiserweights out there. Number 14's, I'm like, I'll bite, you know, whatever. Was Chavez ranked in cruiserweight?
Let's take a look.
Because if he was, there it is.
Well, yeah, so here's the problem. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was ranked 155 in the cruiserweight division. So you beat the 155th best cruiserweight, and now you're number 13. I can see where a lot of people are scratching their head and going, I don't know.
Get over it. You know, I gotta applaud Jake Paul for what he's doing.
Yeah, but do you think that Jake Paul could actually win a legitimate boxing title in any weight category?
No.
No?
No. Like fucking no.
Why is that?
Because he's so far behind. I hate to expose how the sausage is made.
Okay.
But someone of his equal age who's been doing it for a very long time.
Yeah, because he started very late.
Yeah, he started very late.
Yeah.
That's why I swear to you, I applaud exactly what he's doing. I think he should be doing exactly what he's doing. Yeah, he doesn't. He has no business. Dude, I would love to be wrong. If he fought a legitimate like top 10 cruiserweight, I will shut the fuck up. I would be so like in awe if he's able to fight an actual contender of the top 10. That would be astonishing if he can get to that point. That would be if he beat anybody in the top 10, that's the greatest thing. That would be to me the greatest thing he's ever accomplished. That would be amazing. I'd be in awe.
Yeah, because historically he's fought old men.
Well, yeah, he's fought people who, I mean, and I think he's done it. I think he's done it the right way. Because there are possibilities where he could have been beaten.
Well, he was beaten at one point.
Yeah, well, by the only real boxer, of his age,
right,
of his. But yeah, so that's what I said prior to it. I said, no, he's not going to beat Tommy Fury. He's a legitimate boxer.
Right.
But he's made for great spectacle. Like Anderson Silva's and all. Where
Anderson Silva when he was like 50-something years old, right?
It doesn't matter. But
it does matter. But yeah, it matters a bit.
No. Now. That's perfect. Because there's a possibility where a 50-year-old Anderson Silva, you could think might be able to beat him.
Yeah.
It's not the 30-year-old Anderson Silva where you're going, what the fuck are you doing? Are you crazy? So I think it makes for a good matchup. Like Tyson. Who thought he was going to beat Tyson?
Well, he didn't. Oh, yeah, he did fight Tyson, yeah.
Yeah, he fought Mike Tyson, and kudos to him.
Yeah.
Because even me, I'm going, Tyson needs to go to the body. If I was training, it's hindsight, whatever. But I really thought, Tyson's just going to go to the body and just punish his body. Because I thought that's what would win him the thing, but he did not do that.
Yeah. And I actually looked it up. Tommy Fury was ranked 38.
Right.
So,
yeah, what I'm saying?
Stop at 38. A title shot, you're going to get demolished.
Yeah, man. And like I said, I hate to disparage him. If he won dude, he will. He's the shit if he beat somebody, a legitimate guy in the top 10. See, but the thing is that the average, the layman is not supposed to understand this. The layman is not going to understand that those people in the top 10, how much they fought and all the nuances, all of, the battles and the slick shit that they've developed on their way up there. It's just not comparable. He's making his money off of people's ignorance to that.
Yeah, I guess some people claim that the Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight was staged, and Jake Paul is threatening to sue them, kind of like Pierce Morgan is one of the people he's threatening to sue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, are his fights staged? I don't really think so.
I told you about that. Man, you know how hard it is to stage a real fight? Yeah. Everybody loves the conspiracy shit. They don't understand how hard it is to where you going to choreograph all the punches?
Yeah.
Some bullshit. Jake should be angry about people thinking that his shit is staged.
Yeah. I agree about that part. But yeah, you throw him in the top 10, you give him a title shot, I mean, he'll make a lot of money, but I think he's going to get demolished.
Yeah, I do too. And I don't think that's good for him.
Well, what's interesting is that right after the fight, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was arrested by ICE. Yeah. And I guess they're saying that he was used as a henchman by the Sinaloa cartel. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. denied the allegations. He said, sure, he knows folks mixed up in that stuff. Yes, we live in Culiacan, so it's impossible not to know all these people that are involved.
Impossible.
It involves all these things. Yeah.
Anybody in the boxing industry, it's like, they're cousins to corruption. Yeah. You have to be.
He said, but that doesn't indicate anything. I knew everyone back in my day too. Never got accused of anything.
Yeah, the boxing world and the mob world is just, they're interconnected. How do you? These are the people that you're around all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
What's your take on the whole ICE situation? Because we live in LA. And
man, I've been blessing to me. Like I've been this has been the busiest time of my life. I really have been elsewhere more than I have been home.
Right.
So I've just been working like nonstop. So there's a lot of it I don't know. Okay. I've been catching bits and pieces, but yeah, I'm not abreast.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, somebody that you've done a lot of work with, Tyler Perry, is now being sued by a man for sexual assault.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on that?
I don't know much about that. This the white guy?
Yeah.
I don't really know much about it. I think it was some text back and forth that was questionable.
Oh yeah. So apparently there's a text message from Tyler Perry saying that he's a top. They said when you have a big dick and hit that G-spot right on these bottoms, they go crazy.
I don't know what context that's in. I don't know if he talking about a girl. I have no idea.
No, he's talking about men.
Yeah.
Well, he's saying this to this guy.
Yeah,
he's suing for $260 million for sexual assault, I guess. Yeah, I mean, this text message is weird. Listen, I've always thought that Tyler Perry was gay, and I didn't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, he made his mark on the world dressing up like a woman. So him coming out as gay, it was like, okay, there's no shock. There's no nothing.
Yeah, I'm the same way where I was like, if he was or not, it's like, why do people fucking care? I
don't care.
Yeah, I can't possibly care. And yeah, I don't know much about the whole situation. I've been around the guy a number of times. I don't see nothing, He's just the busiest human being I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Yeah, I know people was always speculated, but it's nothing I've ever seen in person.
Well, people have their private lives, man. It's interesting where the new thing is, let me expose all your personal fetishes. Like, there's so much I learned about Diddy from that trial that I wish I never knew. I wish I never knew. But let me tell you something, right? Because, so I interviewed this dude, Punisher, right? He was one of the male escorts. That name always bothered me. I told him, I said, I feel weird calling you that. But, that's your name, so I'm going to go with it.
Yeah.
So this guy had like a dozen, freak-offs between, with Diddy and Cassie. And he said that every time it would be the exact same situation. Diddy would watch them have sex. Before they're done, he would go in the other room, close the door. He would basically pull out and come on Cassie's stomach. She would then jump up and run into the other room to bring the liquid gold to Diddy, right? And he said when he saw the trial and Cassie on the stand said that Diddy would take cum and rub it on his nipples, he said he was actually relieved because this whole time he thought that Diddy was eating it.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I had to hear it. Shit. If I had to hear this bullshit, so do you. Okay? You signed up for this interview. Yeah. We all have to suffer together. Like, the fact that I know this about Diddy is just, nah. Like,
so you just gotta spread the wealth.
I gotta spread the wealth.
Yeah.
No Diddy. Yeah, it's crazy to hear this type of stuff. But there's nothing criminal about it.
No, it's adults. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But, it's like...
You want to spray man juice all over you? Okay, I guess. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. The fact that I have to hear Tyler Perry talking about bottoms and male G-spots and all types of other stuff like
there's
that.
a part of me that's like... There's a part of me about the other guys like, shut the fuck up. Keep that shit... why we got to hear that? Like, I don't know. Whatever, man. Like, you guys are adults, and unless did he chain you up? Did what? Or I don't know. The whole. I guess when people get drugged, that's a different thing or whatever. But I don't know. Like that shit that I'm. When I even see that's what the topic is about, I don't even press that shit. Because I know, like, how does this help my day? Like, what am I going to do with this information? Like, and so nowadays people they want to hear themselves. They want to hear themselves judge other people. And, some people get a thrill out of that. I'm not one of those people, right? So it's like, oh, look what they... I mean, y'all could do that till you're blue in the face. Have at it. But it just don't help nothing to me. That's just like a channel that I channel surf through some shit like that. Like, whatever, man.
You talked about Bruce Lee before, and you said just based on your current size and Bruce Lee's size that you'd be able to beat him in a fight. But one of my members brought up an interesting question. Who would win in a swimming contest?
Everybody would beat me in a swimming contest.
For those that don't know, Michael Jai White cannot swim at all.
Nah.
I've offered to give him swimming lessons. He has turned me down. I'm just worried about you. I don't want you to drown one day if you fall off a boat or something.
Yeah, well,
you cannot swim on any capacity.
Dude, I could lay at the bottom of a pool, and people don't believe me till I show them. Like, I can sit there, I could just go down, and I've showed. I remember I was doing Why Did I Get Married, and Tasha and other folks in there didn't believe me, and I showed them. I said, meet me at the bottom of the pool, and I went down like this, hard enough to scrape my elbow at the bottom of the pool. I'm just real dense, bone dense, and everything else. I taught 3 people how to swim, so I understand the mechanics of it. But I have to be so efficient to keep myself up. That sounds like bullshit, but it's the truth. So I'm going to devote my time into really learning and being efficient to swim, so I could save my damn life. I made sure my kids could swim before I did. So that's something I'm going to do. And I'm going to videotape it too.
Bruce Lee would beat you in a swimming contest.
Yes.
100%.
Absolutely.
He said, be like water. He was talking about you.
Yeah, right.
What's interesting? I didn't really realize this until afterwards, but at my birthday dinner, you were there, and you had said some things about Tupac in the past, which some people wanted to turn into something else.
Yeah.
But Edie from the Outlaws
was there
also.
Yeah.
And I remember when both of you were there, I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about this. But the thing about Edie, and actually he's a good friend of mine, the one thing that he told me, which he has really embraced from all these years I've known him, now we're talking about like over 10 years, I've been friends with him. He said when Pac died, Afeni got everyone together and said, listen, Pac was a big celebrity, and now that he's gone, there's going to be a lot of people going to talk about him, sometimes negatively. It is not your job to take up for him.
Right.
Okay? That was him. You guys have to live your lives. Do not go around beefing with everyone who might have some words about Tupac. And when I realized that, I'm like, I think this is going to be cool. Because you guys actually shook hands at the end.
Yeah.
I introduced you guys shook hands, and it was all good. It was like, I'm like, okay, Because at first I was like, I hope it's not going to be just awkward.
Why would he have beef with me?
Well, he doesn't. That's the whole point.
There's no reason.
There's no reason.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because of who he is and how he
Well, my relationship with Tupac was my relationship with Tupac.
Right, but you know how some people were like, oh, you talking about Tupac, when I see him.
Yeah, those are ignorant motherfuckers.
Yeah. That's
because I never said anything negative.
Right.
Anybody wants to think, me saying that the brother was not what you thought, if you open your eyes, you see so many people said the same damn thing. And I'm trying to say something that's intelligent for intelligent people. It's like, it's a through line of what we talked about. Snoop Dogg is not what you might have thought at first. I'm not saying that negative. He's a beautiful human being. Tupac was incredible. There's nothing negative about that. But he was an artist, and he could go into a performance and play that character to such a degree that just the most down gully ruffians felt like he was one of them.
Who do you think, just honestly, who do you think was a better actor, you or Pac?
Pac.
Really?
In that case, well, I might be able to play, I don't know. I felt like what I said was, I think he'd probably be an Oscar winner by now. Because he could, his range was such.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's like, that's why I said.
He wasn't just Tupac in every movie.
I said, I beg people, look at him 2 years before he did the Bishop role. And look at what his range was like.
Yeah, look at, for example, Poetic Justice.
Yep.
That was not Bishop.
But look at who he just was, like in his interviews at 17. I'm going like, this is something to be amazed at and proud of. Because, he could have played a range of characters. And so many people I know that knew him, just like when we were at the Jamaican restaurant, who came in? Donovan. Nicolo Henry.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that.
Well, the brother that came in was talking about you and didn't know it was you.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
The other Jamaican restaurant. Okay, yeah, right.
Him and Tupac were dancers together.
Funny.
He knew Tupac. They were like brothers. And that's really how I know Tupac, through Donovan. And Donovan wrote that book on him. Donovan tells you exactly what, like even chapter and verse more than what I've said. It was me, Donovan, Tupac. The person he was around us was completely different. Like I told you, people used to say, your friend looks a lot like Tupac.
Yeah.
Because nobody thought it was him.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Out of all the movies you've done, who is the greatest actor you've ever done a movie with?
That's too hard to.
Listen, you had Christian Bale. Who played the Joker in that movie? I keep forgetting.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Did Heath win something for that movie?
Yeah, he won an Oscar for that movie.
For that movie, there you go.
Yeah.
So you've done films with Oscar winners.
Yes.
Who else?
George C. Scott.
Okay.
Who was an Oscar winner as well.
So out of all of the Oscar winners, let's just even narrow it down. All the Oscar winners that you've done films with, who do you think was just the best? Who did you look at and go, wow, he's amazing or she's amazing?
Martin Sheen, because he's an amazing human being as well as an amazing actor.
Okay, Charlie Sheen's dad.
Yeah, man. He's one of my favorite human beings, man.
Is he an Oscar winner?
Well, I think he was nominated, but he was just...
nominated, right.
Yeah, man, but Martin Sheen, man, that dude... But, I did a movie with Albert Finney.
No, wait. Martin Sheen has never been nominated for an Oscar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should have been for...
although he's had a long, successful career, never been nominated.
Yeah. The movie he did with Sissy Spacek. Man, my God. I thought he was nominated for that, but I guess not.
You're talking about Badlands?
Yeah, Badlands.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Oh, that was 2 movies. That was like True Romance and what's the movie with Woody Harrelson and man, I'm so bad. Natural Born Killers.
Natural Born Killers, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
those
it was like?
2 movies came out of Badlands.
Okay.
Yeah, but the best actor
Because you never worked with Denzel, right?
No, never worked.
What about with Samuel L. Jackson?
Nope.
No.
Nope. We there's something that we may be working together on.
Okay. You're supposed to be in Outlaw Johnny Black.
Yeah, he would have been an Outlaw Johnny Black. He had a
role,
a back issue. Mm-hmm. But yeah, worked with amazing actors. I can't imagine who would be the best. I mean, George C. Scott, maybe.
I would say, from my point of view, and I'm not an actor, but from my point of view, in terms of like my favorite actors you've worked with, it would be Christian Bale. I absolutely love Christian Bale as an actor, and his range is just amazing.
Well, I was in the same movie with him. I didn't really do any scenes with him.
Oh, you guys never actually did a scene together?
No, we never did a scene together.
You're right, because you were on the Joker side.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, I would say Christian Bale if it was.
So did you ever watch him do scenes and stuff
like
that?
I did. Yeah,
okay,
I did.
So you were in the scene with him, but you watched him do the scene.
Yeah, and man, you think about this, Christian Bale, he never took acting lessons. He's a self-taught dude, man. And I can go down the rabbit hole this way, but he's done amazing performances. But when he did Harsh Times, which is a little nuanced type of thing, he did a movie called Harsh Times. And he played a guy who grew up, an American who grew up in East LA. I thought it was an amazing performance. Like, amazing. He seemed like a white guy who grew up with Mexicans. American. And here's a dude from Wales, I guess. Unfucking believable what this guy can do.
I mean, he was my favorite Batman.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And you're talking about a very high bar here. I mean, Michael Keaton.
But the fighter?
I was about to mention the fighter. He played a crackhead.
Yeah.
There was that one movie where he lost tons of weight. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think he did that for two. I think he did that for two movies, but it's
he lost weight for the fighter, but there's another one he really lost weight.
Is it Mechanic?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a skeleton in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I wish Christian Bale was still Batman. Like, I'm not a big fan of the other, Val Kilmer as a Batman. Michael Keaton, I didn't think was a great Batman.
I thought he was.
You thought he was?
I thought Michael Keaton was great, yeah.
Listen, I think at the time it was great because as a comic book reader, to have a Batman movie was great.
I like Michael Keaton on certain levels because he has that bit of crazy behind his eyes. I think for you to really be a superhero, you got to be a little bit crazy.
No, I get it, but listen, at the time I was happy, but would I take Jack Nicholson over Heath Ledger? No, not at all. And it's not like Jack Nicholson isn't one of the all-time greats. I just thought that role as the Joker versus Heath Ledger version of it was just far superior.
Yeah.
Just far superior. I think Jack Nicholson, sorry to interrupt you. Jack Nicholson, I think, tried to model himself after the Batman TV show, where the Joker was a little bit of a buffoon.
Yeah.
Whereas Heath Ledger said, okay, I'm going to play the psychopath.
I agree with you. Jack Nicholson, to me, is just an interesting human being, and he brings that to all the roles.
Right.
So you're casting Jack Nicholson in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're getting Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, you're getting that. You know? Yeah. You know who I wish was Batman? Which is probably, you're gonna look at me like crazy. Jeff Goldblum. I want Jeff Goldblum to be every damn superhero.
Okay. I don't know about that one.
I love, man.
That's a bit weird.
Yes, it is.
So.
Yes, it is. But I believe, that's what I'm saying. Like, somebody that's that, I don't have a problem believing Jeff Goldblum would don a cape and do some shit.
Look, I actually went through and looked at all the Batmans. I actually forgot a few. Ben Affleck, I absolutely hate as Batman. I hate. And I generally like Ben Affleck. It's not like I'm hating on him as a human being or an actor. I generally like him, but him as Batman, I despise. Despise. I just think it's the worst casting ever. Robert Pattinson, nice placeholder, I guess, but not a Christian Bale. I feel like it's not like I mean, have you seen the Batman with
No, I didn't.
Robert Pattinson? No.
Unbeknownst to many, I don't really.
You don't watch a lot of movies. Okay.
I don't really watch a lot of superhero movies because I don't believe a lot of shit.
Right.
I just don't.
George Clooney, great actor, not a good Batman. Not a good Batman.
Yeah.
And Michael Keaton, I mean, you liked him, I didn't. Val Kilmer, no, not bad, but I'll take Val Kilmer over Ben Affleck. I'll take damn near anybody over Ben Affleck when it comes to Batman. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like when I look at this list, I feel like Christian Bale is head and shoulders above everyone else, and his movies were better than all the other Batman movies as well. Just the script and the way it's laid out and everything else like that. I just feel like these are better movies. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
the Bane character, the Joker, like all classic movies.
Yeah, my taste is different. My taste is different. Like even for action movies, I think the best action lead ever is Harrison Ford.
Okay, I can see that.
And
The Fugitive, or
yeah, well, just Harrison Ford. He's just
Han Solo.
I believe everything he does. And the best action movie I've seen in a long time, to me, is The Sound of Freedom. Jim Caviezel. I feel like Jim Caviezel. That's my kind of action movie, where I feel like Jim Caviezel is somebody who would do everything he did in the movie. Like there's something about like. So if I imagine a Jim Caviezel as a Batman, that would do it for me. I would tune in for that because there's something about Jim. He's a hell of an actor, but there's something about his fortitude and something about him as a person that I really buy. And for me, that's what I'd want in. I don't want to see some debutante. I don't want to see some Hollywood. Just kind of somebody's built up by Hollywood and just because they have heat,
Speaking of movies, Blood and Bone 2. When I posted on my forum that we're doing an interview, there's a lot of Blood and Bone 2 questions on there.
Yeah.
Is it actually going to happen?
Well, I hope so. It's unfortunately Nick Simonek, who was the producer of Blood and Bone, he passed away. He was a friend.
Okay.
And so
Sorry
now, and his wife also, Terry Ellen Kramer, passed as well. And so now it's gone to their kinfolks.
Their estate.
Yeah, who are not movie people. And so we have to go through the titles and all that kind of stuff. And Terry Ellen Kramer was like it's like she was the eighth richest woman in the country. So she's from old money.
So they just don't care.
Yeah, they're not. That's not their thing.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, how does this work? So it's like we're going through that whole process, but they're not against it. But you got to trace it through. But Terry, she was a friend as well as Nick. Missed them. Nick is historical. Man, I miss that guy. He was really like Arthur. Like, you remember Arthur by Dudley Moore?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a rich, drunk guy?
Oh, my God. Nick was a funny, like an insult comedian of the Blue Bloods. And he actually would have, like, parties at his house. He'd fly myself and my wife out. And, like, he has, like, several guest houses. His house is 2 doors away from Mar-a-Lago.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
In a coral $125 million house, and he has these different suites, and like I would be staying in one, Don King would be staying in another, and what's his name, Winston Churchill III would be in. He would get these parties together of this motley crew of people, and he just loved to just have these guests that would just make for like interesting conversation. And I don't know how I got off on this tangent, but Nick Simonek is also the man who gave Don King the money for the Thriller in Manila and the Rumble in the Jungle. He's the one that really put Don King on the map.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So him and his partner John. John. I forgot John's. He passed away as well. But yeah, these guys. He was a big boxing fan. That's why he wanted to back Blood and Bone.
Well, speaking of movies, you got a new movie coming out.
Yes.
Which has the same name as the T-shirt you're wearing.
Yes, Trouble Man.
Right.
Yep.
Not that movie.
Yeah,
but a new version of that movie.
A new version.
Is it a remake of that essentially?
No, it's a reimagining of my characters, very much in the vein of the Robert Hooks character who played Trouble Man. This was my favorite movie of that time. I ain't gonna call it blaxploitation. It's back in those days before the word blaxploitation was even invented. But Robert Hooks, when he played Trouble Man, who was like a guy who was really down, about his community and about his people, and he was a fixer that made sure things were right, outside of the law. But Robert Hooks, to me, is like one of the early movies I saw. Just his depiction. Now, he was a real actor. A lot of the actors from that time, like the Fred Williamsons and Jim Browns, they were former football players. And they were in movies that were very much stylized and they're kind of campy. But Robert Hooks was a consummate actor. He was Negro ensemble, like pioneer, a major Broadway, and he's worked with the Sidney Poitiers, he's royalty as far as black acting in that universe. So I always thought that was a movie that didn't get its due. And so when it was time for me to title this movie that I was going to be directing, I wanted to bring back that title.
Did you have to somehow license the original, or
no? Actually,
you can't copyright a name of a movie.
No, you can't. You can name
or a name of a song. Like names are sort of free for all, because otherwise people would like copyright "I Love You" and no song could be called "I Love You." Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's the reason for it.
Yeah. So
you could call. So basically, I could say make a movie called Titanic. Yeah. I don't have to anything.
Yeah, you risk your proceeds going to the other movie. So, but like, I'm a big fan of the 70s when brotherhood and sisterhood was first and foremost. It was, to me, the heyday of our pride. Brother actually meant something. These are the days that this is something that helped had a lasting effect on me. And so I created this movie that's really about my people and communities and people working together and like brother and sisterhood means something, and it means something in this movie.
Well, it stars you. Your wife is in it.
Mm-hmm.
Method Man.
Method Man kills it.
Mike Epps.
Mike Epps kills it.
Orlando Jones.
Yes, everybody's killing it.
Lala Anthony.
Lala.
Am I missing anybody?
Yeah, those are Keith Sweat is in the movie.
Keith Sweat is in it.
Keith Sweat's in the movie.
Is he acting or singing?
He's acting and he's singing.
Okay, both.
Yeah, he worked on the music. He did some original pieces. He did the closing song that nobody realizes is him. Everybody listens to that and they go, "Who is that?" And when I tell them, they're like, "Oh my God, really?" Keith has a voice that he keeps like hidden. Like Keith is like a cousin to me.
Okay,
he's family, and he did this, probably kind of to my urging. But this dude, he's a hell of a singer. People know him for his certain style that he sung a lot of things in, but that dude's got range, like that people don't realize. Yeah, and Also, Gary Taylor was one of my favorite singers. He's in the movie. His songs are in the movie too. So yeah, man, it's a celebration of us.
Dope, man. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
It's a fun look.
Because you're also starring in the 6th season of Family Business.
Yep. Yeah. We got the 6th season of Family Business where they've asked somebody to be my love interest in that show, which is my wife.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, she's going to be in the season 2.
Nice.
Yeah, so
that's not going to be hard to act out.
No, yes, I guess they didn't have any faith in my acting ability. They say let me make it easy for you. But yeah, she does her thing in there. Right,
and there's a new spy thriller called Spy Masters.
Spy Masters, and we haven't shot that yet.
Oh, I haven't shot it
yet. Yeah. Another thing that's coming out is Hostile Takeover. That's the first movie done entirely on LED screen.
I watched that.
Yeah.
That's the one that you had the screen at your house.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching the future.
Yep. You were watching the future.
I was watching the future.
Yeah.
Like, actually, because the director was there, he was describing how the whole thing was shot with one camera. And the camera was tied to the LCD screen. So it's like an Avatar kind of thing, but in real time with the LCD screen as opposed to just a little view monitor.
Yeah. It was, we were... So you were in New York and Vegas. You could be all over the world, and it looks...
No, it looks great. And the thing is that what you guys did is that I don't feel like you tried to make it realistic. You made it kind of like stylized. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's the Brooklyn Bridge. And it's the Brooklyn Bridge, but it's the colors and the way it's shot is almost like a stylized version of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah.
But it's dope the way it is.
Yeah.
And as AI progresses, you're going to be able to do some really wild stuff.
Yeah, well, one thing is...
There's no AI in this movie, though. But I'm saying that once you combine the AI with some of the technologies that you're doing, it's like, oh, it's about to be really crazy.
Well, I don't think it gets better than this anyway, because like if you shot in front of the Eiffel Tower, right, and I shot with the Unreal Engine technology, which, the LED screen, mine will look better than yours because I can put mistakes in there if I want to. I can make the moon over here. I can make lens flares happen that will make you think that you're looking at the real footage more than the things that if you actually shot, that certain elements you can't control. So yeah, that's a whole nother, that is the future.
Well, I just want to leave it with this, and this kind of hit close to home because I've interviewed him a couple of times, and we have, one of his group mates in common is a young noble from the Outlaws recently took his own life. Yeah. Tupac's group, the Outlaws? One of the guys recently killed himself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
Well, okay, I'll put it this way, because I've had conversations with people about this. They were private conversations. But based on some of the stuff his family has put out, once you hit middle age, I think he was maybe 47 when this happened. In entertainment, there's really no retirement plan.
Right.
So it's like you got this guy like Noble who was part of a group called the Outlaws, but the star is Tupac, right? The group is there to support the star, but the star dies.
Yeah.
So you try to figure it out. You still have a long life left to live. So, you put out albums, you get various record deals, and you do some shows and some touring, but, over time, it starts to decline. Mm-hmm. And look, I know a lot of people in hip hop, I'm not going to say who, that, they're in their 50s and so forth. They have regular 9-to-5 jobs. I know a rapper that a lot of people my age are very familiar with. He works in the medical field. He he cleans like when, for example, when doctors do surgery, like there's a company that cleans all those medical devices, all the saws and knives and everything else like that, so they're sterile for the upcoming operation.
Right.
So
Right, yeah.
I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to put people on blast,
Right, yeah.
but that's what he does for a living. He cleans medical supplies.
Right.
And when he gets a show, he'll take time off, he'll go do a show, and he comes back to his 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
But a lot of people in entertainment don't want to do that.
True.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I
They don't
understand.
want to. It's almost like, the movie The Wrestler, where it's like, he's working in the butcher shop, and they're like,
Yeah.
hey, man, you look familiar. Like, man, aren't you so-and-so? Like, I think that happens way too often, where people just don't want to go and support themselves when they really need to. And there's more details I could tell you off the record, but like I said, part of this was part of a conversation I had with someone, and they told me to just keep it private. But you have a guy who, over time, the money has gone down. He was married, he had kids, his wife worked, but he was still trying to I want to do a new album, and but his group mates don't really want to do an album anymore. They've moved on and found other things to do in life.
Yeah.
But he still wants to do it, and they're not really down with it. So he's trying to figure it out, but it's not working. And so you have the pressure of the family and the kids, and the wife is working. She's going to work every day, and you just start to get depressed because your ego is stopping you from saying, hey, man, I'm going to go get a job. Fuck this shit. I'm going to go get a real job. I'm going to maybe go back to school and learn a craft or whatever else. But they don't want to deal with it. Hey, man, aren't you that guy from Tupac's group?
Yeah.
So it stops them. And, the guy I spoke to said you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who kills themselves where money is not close to the heart of the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You rarely see really rich people killing themselves.
Right.
It happens. But usually, and you also don't see really poor people killing themselves. You know what I mean? Like with the people in the middle. Because look, he's tasted the best the world has to offer. He was flying around the world with Pac, and he was feeling the superstardom and everything else like that. And over time, like the guy I spoke to, he said I don't even want to say. Private conversation.
Yeah,
again,
man.
I have to stop myself to try to protect people's privacy. But it's like, that's ultimately what I think happened. He didn't want to humble himself and take a job and bring money in and so forth, and he wanted to still hold on to the dreams of music, but it was not there anymore. And
this shit is an illusion, man.
yeah,
I think this is interconnected. A lot of things that we're talking about. When we talk about when I talked about the whole Michael Jackson, Prince, and then Terence, Trent, or Sananda now. To pull yourself away from that. And, it's like, this can't be your God, man. Your God should be your God.
what do you mean by not your God?
This industry can't be your God.
Okay. I got it.
When all these fucking strangers knew your name, should mean shit. It's about the people who are around you, And my heart goes out to people who get lost in that. I hate to mention names because then all the negative people go, oh, you throwing shots at this person. But let me just say, okay, let me think of somebody famous. So, say if I say Halle Berry, and imagine, and not that I know this woman at all, but can you imagine if Halle Berry, or an actress like that, who everybody goes, oh my God, you're Halle Berry. They're looking up at her like that. Can you imagine? She has a possibility of looking at herself as, I haven't had an Oscar. But what if she thought that the height of her significance was when she won an Oscar for Monsters Ball, and she's trying to get right back there. And all the Viola Davises and all these other women that's coming up and playing in Black Panther and all these roles she wants, but it's going by. It's going by.
Angela Bassett's getting him.
Or whomever.
Yeah.
If she define herself by that, No matter what people look at, she can be like, God damn it, I want this, I want that, I want to be right. And the quality of life starts to diminish. And if people are thinking, man, I want to be, heralded by strangers again, and that's what you're living for, and it's not the people that's around you who love you, and hopefully you got people who are real, but if anything I've been talking about is that there's the bullshit and then there's reality. There's who you are deep down, and not the image that you push out there. And the people who don't delude themselves and know who they are, well, I mean, that's the important part. Like, you think the prince that says, my back hurts, I ain't doing this shit, I'm gonna wear some comfortable, I think that prince would still be here.
Yeah.
I think he would be here. I think the Michael Jackson that was just like, that's just be like,
I'm just gonna be a dad now.
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah, I got three kids.
But whatever because the world is going, bless their hearts, they love you. They're going to let you delude yourself as much as you can. If you don't keep yourself rooted.
Right. But for example, right? Remember Jeffrey Owens from the Cosby Show?
Yeah.
He was photographed working at Trader Joe's.
Right.
He had to quit because people started to like talk about him and went viral and whatever else. And ultimately, he got a couple of roles here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a weird thing because I've been outspoken about this. I feel like, look, this entertainment industry is not for everybody. Not everyone has the heart to stay in this and keep reinventing yourself and keep pushing the envelope and saying, okay, no one wants to book me, I'm going to do my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't get, it's very easy to get lost in situations like this because it's like, look, Young Noble, he became an outlaw and he's with Tupac, who's the biggest thing on earth and still kind of is in the rap world. Like, so you almost have like a cheat code. You go straight to the top. You pass go and collect your $200, right?
Sometimes it's not.
And I was just gonna say, for example, Jeffrey Owens, like his first major role was The Cosby Show, the biggest show on television at the time, right? So you start to kind of get comfortable with that. Okay, well, I'm on this level. I remember even interviewing Lou Diamond Phillips, right? I asked, what was one of his big mistakes? He said, well, he came out doing La Bamba. Then he did Stand By Me, or Lean On Me, Stand By Me, with Edward James Olmos. Stand and Deliver, sorry, my bad. Mm-hmm. So he came out like, boom, and then he did like Young Guns, boom. Like he was like the hot, young, whatever he is. He's like Filipino and whatever.
Yeah.
But people thought he was Mexican, whatever. Like, but he's like the new, whatever, brown actor that everyone's like, I don't know what he is, but like, he's like, boom, this movie, then Young Guns 2, boom, another superstar movie.
Yeah.
And he said like, his biggest mistake was, at one point he was like, yeah, I'm not doing auditions. They know who I am. And he missed a lot of big roles being that. And then before you know it, he's now doing lower budget films.
Yeah.
Because those big roles just stopped coming. And he said had he humbled himself and taken some of those roles, his career could have been a little different at this point. But, this happens.
Again, like it's about, okay, how's your family? How's your kids? Your wife? To me, that's the priority, right? You're taking care of the people. Some people might be, they might be on their own. They might be, it might be a chapter in your life, but it's just being realistic. It's called show business for a reason. It's a business.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to learn all you can. You get your moment in the sun. You got to learn those lessons. If you don't learn those lessons, you're going to be kind of in a bad situation. But, but still, it's just that buying into what other people's assessment of what that is a big mistake. People, like, they'll call you a star, like, oh, I might have been star in a movie. I'm not a movie star. Like, that all that shit that feeds your ego is to your detriment. There's so many people who you could be a billionaire, you could be an asshole, you're just an asshole. I look at people who are just good people who do right by their family. And if you do that, imagine you could be the richest person on the planet if you're doing that, if that's your priorities. You know, it doesn't matter what you do for a living. You know, hey, yeah, I used to do this or whatever, and I'm taking care of, you know what I mean, of what the priorities are. Then nothing can really kind of really stop you, because you're like, well, the way I look at it is that that's my priorities. I'm happy that I'm able to do this, but those are the priorities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's hard because a lot of people, I don't feel honest with themselves, right? Meaning that, like, look, you get so many roles because you're actually great at what you do, right? Like, you actually are a great action star. You work on, you could have just said, I'm just going to get fat and lazy because I got money now, and
No, bro, no. There's a little bit of a difference here. I created my own stuff. I had to. I know this goddamn industry.
Yeah.
I know they ain't looking for some alpha black man that you might feel threatened by sitting across from. I know the reality of this shit. I had to create my lane.
Right. Well, you've done your own movie, but you also get booked for a lot of movies as well.
Well, because of that.
Oh, you're saying it's
no,
okay.
It's absolutely because of that. Because ain't nothing is garnered me more stuff than Outlaw Johnny, Black Dynamite, Blood and Bone, things that I produced, the things I had to get done.
Exactly.
So I know this is a business decision. It's me having to create that. And so the fact that I'm creating my own thing.
Right.
So it's a little bit different than like, oh, I'm lucky I get cast and stuff. No, I'm creating my own thing.
Yeah.
So it's so you could look at me as what is my real job? I'm a producer. I'm a writer who creates these things, a director who happens to be in his own things that he's producing. So it's like, when I'm even done with this, I'm gonna always be producing. So I'm
right.
So really, if you think about it, I'm a producer first. That's really, when it comes down to it, what I do.
These days. You started as an actor first.
Yeah. That opened the door for me to produce.
Look, like I had to reinvent myself multiple times.
Yeah.
I was a computer programmer. Then I started a recruiting company. Then I became a DJ. Then I started doing DVDs. And then I started doing YouTube.
Exactly. So you are a producer. You created.
I'm a producer. I'm a creator.
Exactly.
Like, I had to always figure shit out because, listen, my first documentary, Ghost Ride the Whip, I got paid like $30,000 and never saw a royalty check. Mm-hmm. And I spent like 6 months working on it. I'm like, this pay sucks.
Yeah.
As much work as I put into it, like, where's all the royalties? Oh, now I'm seeing how the movie industry works. Like, unless you have a mega hit, you're not going to see shit. There's going to be funny accounting, and they're going to say we haven't recouped yet. So I had to say, okay, let me do YouTube. Everyone laughed at me. Mm-hmm. Peter Spire, who I did my first film with, was like, that's a waste of time.
Yeah,
Ain't no money in that. You know Peter, right?
Yeah.
He laughed at me. Mm-hmm. He said, yo, Vlad, you're wasting your time. That's not how you do it. You get these deals with these movie companies, you get some money, and then you go do another movie. And now when you look at me and Peter, there's a very huge difference in terms of our overall wealth and success.
But I don't want us to look like we patting each other on the back or whatever.
I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just saying that had he listened to me back then, he would be right there with me.
Yeah, but the point being is not falling for our own press, right? As a performer, your shit is limited. You know what I mean? Unless you're one writing the checks. See what I'm saying? Was Diddy or whomever, like whatever he calls himself, he's a producer and he can be on the album, whatever. But it's like, so those people who have come along and the door is open, well, I think your responsibility is to start looking at the business end of it.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's the lesson here, that instead of, I don't want it to seem like, okay, like good for us, but the lesson being for the folks who fall into that thing.
Yeah.
Of just like what the industry tells you are. Yeah, that could be cool, but you got to create your own path.
I think this is so important, and I really I want everyone who's watching this to really pay attention as I say this right now. Like, it's nice to say age ain't nothing but a number, but age is a real number, and there's going to be certain things that you're going to achieve in various decades of your life. Okay, at 52 years old, I know I'm not going to be a boxer. Okay. I've trained for boxing before. I broke my, the finger on my hand or whatever else, in my 20s. I've wrestled in high school, so I've done some martial arts, but I can't say at 52 years old, I'm going to restart my boxing career.
Right, yeah.
That is ridiculous. I know it's stupid. I'm not going to do it. I'm too old to start in the beginning of it.
Yeah.
I remember as a DJ, when I hit my early 30s. I mean, look, I became a DJ at 29 because I knew, okay, listen, this is the last chance I have to take it seriously because then I'm going to be too old to start. You could be an older DJ, but be a legendary DJ, and that's okay. But to be a brand new DJ when you're 40 is stupid. Okay? So I started DJing. I put everything into it. Well, by the time I started hitting my mid-30s, I said, this is ridiculous as I get older. I can't keep flying around the world doing gigs for $1,500. I'm getting older. I'm thinking about maybe starting a family. Like, this is not the lifestyle that I want. There's not enough money here. I had to rethink everything I was doing to prepare myself for my 40s. You have to prepare yourself for your 40s and your 50s. When you have a young noble who's 47 years old that still wants to put out rap albums, it could get very frustrating.
Yeah.
It could get very frustrating to the point where you kill yourself, which is the worst possible thing, as opposed to saying, something? Yo, this was great in my 20s. I was with Tupac. I'm on some classic songs. I'm dope. But now I'm 47. Yo, now I'm going to be behind the scenes. I'm going to be developing artists.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a label. Or I'm just going to completely shift into a whole different category. Like, when you do hip hop and when you have a name, a lot of opportunities come your way that an average working person doesn't have. You have a step up over most other people.
True.
So there's things you could do. You can get your foot in the door in a whole lot of places that being, Joe Blow who works at Costco will never be into. But you have to take yourself seriously, and you have to be realistic, and you have to say, listen, I'm a rapper, but I'm not the best rapper. I'm not Jay-Z.
Yeah, you have to take
I'm not Nas.
Sometimes you have to take yourself less serious too.
Yeah. I'm cool. Like, let me figure out the next chapter of my life, and it may not be what I've done all these years, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay, but you have to, like Jeffrey Owens, like, listen, I got a chance to be on the biggest show on television, but that was like 30 years ago. I'm not Denzel. Right? I'm not Christian Bale. Like, maybe this acting thing just will be something I did in the past, and that's okay because I'm not making enough money to support my family. And, now I'm working at Trader Joe's, and people are talking shit about me. But
fuck them. Yeah, I would hope people would find the freedom in the fact that, like, and this might sound corny as shit, but man, like, when I just drive by. Like, there's a corner right here when I go, when I leave here and I go down Oxnard in Noble. And there's like a bunch of Mexicans that hang out to be picked up for work. Like, manual labor.
Not anymore, though. Not with ICE out of these streets.
Oh,
they have
you had to
scattered.
say
They
that
are not in that corner anymore.
But here's my point, man. I'm inspired by people like that. I really am. I look at, who knows? This man might have left Mexico and is living his dream and is putting his children in a good school to give them an opportunity.
Yeah.
And that man, when he gets home and he eats his wife's food and is with his children and knowing that he's doing the right thing for them every damn day.
Yeah.
Man, I want to be worthy enough to sit at that man's table because that's a motherfucking hero to me, right? I don't give a fuck about these stars. Fuck a lot of these people. I mean, and then I have to ask myself, could I do that? Could I be there day to day? But there's people who happily have that opportunity, and it's about giving their children another chance. What if the children become a doctor? How's that man not rich? Yeah. How's that man not fulfilled in every level of being a man, right? Those people, when I ride by them, that's what I think about. And so when I think about, damn it, the illusion of this Hollywood shit, or just when a bunch of fucking strangers knew who the fuck you were, and you living for that, it's sad. It's sad when that's your God. This shit will never be my God, man. It's like, but the fact that I'm able to give my children this chance and I kind of live through them as well, I'm going to do the best as I can no matter what. But when I see those people, and I know rich ass people who they're fuck all with character, they're like fucked up individuals, and they have all this opportunity, who the fuck do I want to sit next to? Who do I want to have be at the table? I don't want none of that other shit. That's why, my favorite people are just good damn people. And so my heroes were like that growing up, and they still are. I could give a damn. I'm telling you, I meet a whole lot of famous damn people, but I still look at them and I judge them by that same criteria. And and I'm sorry, I'm just not impressed by a lot of these motherfuckers. I'm just not impressed by a lot of them. And most of them don't have the character that I've seen with real people growing up. And when people look at me and think that I'm Mr. Hollywood or what, they don't know no better, but I'm simple.
None.
You know what I mean?
No, I can attest to that, yeah. I can attest to that.
And I won't change a damn thing. I don't care how much, I'm comfortable in my house. I'm thinking about, my money's going for my children, the future, and everything else. I'm comfortable where I am, but I'm lucky. My heroes are still my heroes, and it's about being just quality people, and it's really sad when people lose track of what I feel should be the most important stuff, and they keep chasing that high of this illusion, And when people say, "Oh my God, Michael White, you're amazing," I go, "Thank you. You're conditioned to feel that way. You don't know me, but I thank you for that. It is better than saying, 'Hey, Michael J. White, you're an asshole.' Yeah. But I'll take that over that. But I do know that, okay, yeah, you're conditioned to feel that, the people on TV are somewhat better. But I'm like, no, we're not.
Well, I mean, for me, listen, you've been famous way longer than I've been known, right? You had longer to deal with this, right? For me, listen, I've had really fucked up days sometimes where it's a lot of personal shit is happening, and a random person will come up, "Hey man, I just want to say, when I was in the military, I watch all your interviews every day. I just love what you do. And, this one interview really got me through something, blah, blah." And it's I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't take that as oh, you don't know me. I'm
well, that's different though. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
yeah.
when people approach me, they sincerely tell me like how much they like the work that I've done. And my role in that work, and they want to take a picture, and I always say yes. I've never said no to them.
I hear you.
Every single time, because that person is just coming with pure intentions. Like, yo, they actually watch my stuff. This is something I've created myself from scratch out of ideas in my head. And I've gone through some bad days because of these types of random people who I've never met another day in my life. You know, I never saw them again, but it feels nice. And you do get addicted to that a little bit sometimes, you know? And I don't know. I don't get it that often. Like, I get it maybe once or twice a day, but I can imagine if you're just walking outside and hundreds of people are there, and then suddenly one day you walk outside and nobody knows who you are, maybe that could be a blow to your ego somewhat, but I personally like it, man. I personally like it and I appreciate it. I never thought I would be where I am. Because this whole thing with Vlad TV happened later in life.
Right, yeah.
I was just a fan for a long time of a lot of this stuff, you know? So
yeah, man, but hey, this is therapy for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, somebody could turn on to this channel and, you know, be brought to a thought they normally wouldn't have. But a lot of people don't, you know, kind of cotton to therapy and they can't find it in a lot of sources. You know, there's a lot of topics that really hit home. But you know, but there's no illusion here.
No, this is all real. This is really who I am. This is really how you know, you and I are really friends in real life. You know, although we do business together when we sit in this room, outside this room, most of our time is spent. You know what I'm saying? Most of the conversations we have are not on camera.
Right, yeah.
You know, we hang out in real life.
See, with me, there's an illusion sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like,
you know, remember after my party, like, you know, we were leaving and the guy's like, hey, man, are you really as tough as you say you are and stuff? And you're like, yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
We were waiting for the car? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm a little bit better than that. It used to be like, what's up? Like, it's like, oh, is that karate shit real? Yeah, man, what's up?
What's up?
Like, why you asking? Like, so, yeah, I'm more calm now, but it's you know, it's I don't know. But sometimes it's like, just like, hey, I'm a gentleman. Like, I ain't trying to, you know, people, like, I meet people and, you know, like, it's like, yeah, man, you fuck somebody up. Like, wait, why is that on your mind? Like, you know, that's not ever on my mind. Violence is not on my mind, but it tends to lead.
I have never been scared of you.
Good.
Not for 1 second. All the times we've hung out.
Yeah.
I've never had any fear.
That's why we hang out.
Jai White. On any level. On any level.
Yeah.
At all. That doesn't say that I'm tough or you're not tough. It's just not how you are.
It's not how I am, you know. So,
you know, listen, I've had friends that sometimes you rub them the wrong way and you're like, oh shit, this might actually turn into something. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, you're not that person in your personal life. You play that on television or the movies, but in real life, that is not who you are at all, and that's a good thing.
Right,
So who wants to be violent all the time?
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Last question before I let you go, because I actually forgot to mention it. Jon Bones Jones.
Oh, yeah.
He retired, but then he unretired and something? Like, what's going on? This is your man, so you tell me what's going on.
I don't know. I wish I did. I mean, I feel like, you know, everybody talks about this whole Tom Aspinall thing. And, you know, Jon Jones was very clear that he wanted the Stipe Miocic, like, for years, right? That was his swan song. And so he wasn't thinking about some damn Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall was not on the radar. And so with Jon Jones doing his swan song, beating Stipe, that was what he was, you know, that's what he was aiming at. And so they wanted to say, oh, he's ducking Tom Aspinall. I think he beat the hell out of Tom Aspinall personally. And so they're trying to, people want to hate on him anyway.
Really? People love Bones. Like, they love the guy. I mean, seriously. I mean, listen, every major champion gets hated on. Floyd Mayweather gets hated on a lot. Yeah. Who gonna say that he sucks? Nobody.
There's a lot of things veiled as... There's a lot of racism that's veiled as other things.
Really?
Yes, it is.
By the way,
Like a lot of times where it's like, oh, but he's a cheater. He can't be the greatest. No, he's the greatest of all time, right?
right.
But there's people, but that's what the industry is. You know, you got to have the haters and all that kind of stuff too. Even when evidence of how dominant he has been is just right there in your face. And so people are
Greatest MMA fighter ever, right? Jon Jones?
By far.
Right?
By far.
Greatest ever.
Yeah.
Who's number 2?
I don't know.
There you go.
You know, it's
just such a
George St.
moat.
Pierre, maybe. I don't.
Really? You put St. Pierre as number 2? Okay.
Well, because of, or maybe, George has only been beaten once, maybe twice.
Okay.
But if there's Anderson Silva, but I don't know. But yeah, it's either George or Anderson probably. And I think it would be Khabib, but he's really hadn't fought that many times. But Jon Jones, him coming back into it, if he decides after maybe Tom Aspinall fights a few times, maybe he'll come back and fight him. I don't know.
Did you see him? Did you see Jon Jones get a shoulder checked at the airport?
Oh, I thought that was staged.
Well, it's this video right here.
Yeah, that's completely staged. Come on.
Well,
I know bad acting when I see it.
It was staged. I mean, the guy who checked him was staging it.
Yeah.
I don't think Jon knew that he was on video at that time. Oh, because he looked generally pissed off right there.
Oh, no.
So you think he was playing along the whole thing?
Yeah, I think he was playing along. I mean, the guy, come on, that's so obvious. That's really bad acting right there. This guy's, like.
Well, I mean, according to, there's an article about this on Bloody Elbow. He said Jon Jones asked his followers to help him track down the guy who bumped him. It seems like he's actually annoyed about the whole situation.
Yeah, I think that's people playing into some shit that I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That dude, what is this, about 160 pounds?
Yeah, the guy's named The Greatest Entertainer. I guess this is what he does. He just bumps into people and tapes it. Now, I think Jon didn't know about this.
Maybe.
I think it was a prank.
Jon
I think he was
pissed
pranked.
at that.
I wouldn't do that prank. Because shit, that motherfucker with his long ass arms might punch me from across the airport. You'll be walking away and get hit in the back of the head.
Yeah, well, no,
Jon has like the longest appendages of like hit that anybody. Guy. Seriously.
Yeah.
He's just built different than other humans. His arms are longer. Does he have the biggest reach like in MMA?
And one of it, I think there's one guy with an 85-inch reach. I forgot who that was. But he's 84
and a half inches.
Yeah. Huh?
His arms are crazy.
Yeah.
He's got like basketball player arms basically.
Yeah.
He's a basketball player who fights.
Yeah, and fights very fucking well.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like
MMA fighters. The greatest reach.
Yeah.
Jon Jones and Stefan Struve.
Yes.
Stefan
right?
Struve. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of them 84 and a half inches.
Yeah, and I think Struve was damn near 7 feet.
Oh. Yeah. So there you go. So Jon has.
Yeah.
Pound for pound, longer arms, basically.
But anybody who wants to deny Jon Jones, it's like, motherfucker, just look at the way he's beating people.
Okay, so
there's so many ways he's defeated people. Like, what are you going to? You're going to say that's steroids?
The longest reach is in MMA is Robelis d'Espagne. I don't know, 87-inch reach.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's this guy right here.
I don't know.
I don't know who it is either.
Yeah. That's in the MMA, so he could be part of some kind of league.
6'7", 264.
Okay.
Plastic Man arms, basically.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, Reed Richards arms.
Yeah, right? It says MMA. Who knows where he is? He might.
Yeah, I don't know what he's ranked.
Yeah.
He's in the heavyweight division of the UFC. Won the bronze medal in 2012 Summer Olympics. Like he's been around, but I don't think he's like a top guy because you've never heard of him. But yeah, goddamn, 87-inch arms.
Yeah.
You can't even get close to this motherfucker. He just punch you while you're coming
If
out
he's
your corner.
got timing. There's a lot of guys with long reaches that don't have timing.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Longest reach in NBA.
Oh, that's going to be Gobert, maybe?
We'll see. They're doing reach, standing reach. 9'9" for Mark Williams.
Oh. I knew it was somebody you would never heard of
Yeah.
because of he's famous for that.
Remember Manute Bol?
Yeah.
He was crazy looking.
Yeah, I met him before he played on a University of Bridgeport.
Oh.
And I literally saw him cross the street in front of my car way back in 80-something. And I freaked out. I got out of the car like I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah, he was just obscene because he was 7'5" or something like that.
7'6", I believe.
7'6".
7'6" or 7'7", and at 190 pounds.
Crazy. And what's funny is that I interviewed Muggsy Bogues, who played on the same team as him. Muggsy was the shortest guy, I think, ever in the NBA.
Yeah.
But the tallest guy almost ever.
Manute and his brother came to my high school one time and was watching a game, and you look at him, and his torso wasn't that tall, but you look down the bleachers and his feet was like way down there. It was bizarre. But yeah, he didn't look real.
Right, and he has a son named Bol,
Yeah.
who plays for the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. Michael Jai White, man. Always a pleasure. Can't wait to see Trouble, man.
Yes.
It's going to be in theaters, right?
In theaters and streaming on August 1st. Everybody come out and check
that's
it
right
out.
around the corner. That's like 2 weeks from now.
That's weeks from now. So check it out. We did it. I got to say, we did our thing in this movie.
Thing?
Yeah. So, get out there, check it out. Let me know what you think. And thanks for tuning in.
That's what it is.
All right.
That's what it is. Till next time. Peace.